Hey guys, I just want to do a quick little fishing report slash conditions report for the first week of February. It's still blowing like hell out there, so it's making things a little rough. Uh, Had a couple of sunny days, so even though the wind wasn't really good, but can't kind of pass up going out kayak fishing on a sunny day. So hit out and hit a couple different places. Right now, well, actually, like the end of January or full January, it was pretty much all blown out. I don't think I did any offshore or even out to the reef in all of January. And this first week of February, and looking the forecast through the second week of February, it looks like the same thing. It's going to be a little too hot out there to be able to get out and do much of the big stuff. Problem I'm having with the inshore is because the winds are blowing out of the north, east, south, west, is that it causes the water to get really turned up. So it turns out making pretty much all the inshore all muddy, and then that really shuts things down and makes the fishing pretty tough. So that makes it a little disappointing for the first couple weeks here, but you can only do what you can do. Nice sunny days, so you can't beat that. Did about 3 trips this week. Took the wilderness system tarpon out, hiding from the wind, and did a little bit of inshore mangroves and on some little dock fishing. A little bit of drifting, not too far off the banks there to stay within the little wind coverage area there. Took the Hobie out and made it out to the Shark Key channel, play around a little bit out there. Hit some more mangroves. Then one day went out on a boat with my buddy and headed to the Gulf side because we thought maybe we can get a little bit more windbreak on the leeward side, but same thing. The Gulf side was just all blown out. We couldn't even drift across the big cuts because it was just blowing too fast. Picked up a few ladyfish because they like the muddy water, so that was okay. Couldn't find the trout. Ended up just hiding in some little mangrove cuts and just picking off some decent sized mangroves, so that made it somewhat reasonable day. But otherwise, not such a great time. But that's kind of the winter times in the Keys. You just kind of have to pick your spots and try to find holes in the weather and just get out while you can. So I just threw together quick little videos, check stuff out. Thanks. So you can kind of see the coffee water conditions make things not so great for the inshore. It's just when these winds are blowing just randomly from different directions in a short time frame, it tends to turn things up and makes things really tough on the inshore side. One bright note has been the pilchards. Been having good luck catching some large and extra large size pilchards fairly consistently. Basically hit 4 different channels that dump out into the Atlantic side, the flats, and have been pretty successful in all 4 of them. So they seem to be around. Because of the milky waters, the way it's been going is that I'll hit one of the channels, take a look for the pelicans, and then if I see them diving or milling about, just basically just head straight over to wherever they're sitting, and then just start blind throwing the net. And it doesn't look like there's, or you couldn't see anyways, but I'm not hitting any big schools where I'm getting bucket loads at one throw, but I'm picking up a couple, half dozen, up to a dozen. As I'm blind casting, I might need to do a dozen throws to get a couple dozen, but like I said, they're very nice quality size, large to extra large. Fortunately, too big for the general inshore stuff, but they would make excellent bait if I could take them to the offshore side, but whatever. But I just love chasing bait, probably even just as much or more so than just regular fishing, so it's fine with me. Anyways, that's the one big plus that's happening this windy days. Another windborne hassle is the amount of weeds that are getting blown inshore. Lots and lots of weed lines inshore, not offshore, just inshore, which makes things a lot tougher for any type of trolling or casting on the flats and tied up close to the mangroves. Just these just weed lines everywhere. One of the strategies that you can do during this windy weather is to basically find a nice mangrove cut, a little channel or whatnot, and just basically tie yourself off to the side of one of the mangroves and pitch baits underneath and see what happens. Another windy day strategy is to basically anchor up on the leeward side of a channel. Drift baits, it's best to throw a chum bag out, but I just had the pilchards, so I put one up high, one on the bottom, and just sat there and waited for something to happen. Did end up hooking up to something a little bit too big for my light tackle stuff. This thing, whatever it was, almost fooled me. I think it's probably just a big barracuda that I luckily hooked in the right place. One thing you got to remember is these cuts that lead from the Atlantic to the Gulf side are like highways for everything, so you just never know what you can catch in these channels. So yeah, you almost have to treat it like fishing on the reef line. You got the common fish, but you can also get some monsters. Okay, so the moral to this video is basically pay attention to the wind. That dictates almost everything here in the Keys. So for this next couple days or this week here, we've got winds coming from the northwest directions. That's got a little bit going to the easterlies. So that basically means Atlantic side, but you're looking at 20s to 30s, 33 knot winds, a little bit of rain, so a little bit tough conditions. Again, Monday's okay, but it's got high peak winds in the morning and afternoons. Still coming from the northerly direction, so it's the Atlantic side looks like it's still there. Starts blowing in a little bit different, so it's all these different direction change means that it's still going to be those same types of variable wind directions. It's going to keep that same inshore murky waters, so I got to come up with a better game plan to see if I can pick up some funner game fish, because this doesn't look like it's cleaning up for the second week of February either. But that is it. Just still a matter of if you can get out and just try to find the best spot that you can. We'll see you on the water.